So I want to pick your brain as we get ready to go to Nashville, where it's fun for us to cover this. It's somewhat stressful to be a general manager to go to the winter meetings, especially when you're under the gun to lure a big-ticket item to your franchise.
Yeah, I just think it's stressful when you know you got to improve your club, and there's just very limited ways to be able to do that. And the clock's ticking, your time's running out. You know that your political capital is being used on a very, very quick basis. And so, yeah, you do feel the pressure when you get there. Not great to make decisions with that frame of mind, but you've got to be aggressive at sometimes when the opportunity presents itself.
The team that is under the most pressure to have a victorious offseason is which team? For
me, it's the San Francisco Giants. I mean, I think that, first of all, I think Farhan is very, very good at what he does. But for whatever reason, it's been a challenge to get certain players to come to the Bay Area, which I don't understand because it's a great ballpark and a great city. But, you know, I mean, if you look at their team, Greg, they have a lot of nice parts. They just have no aircraft carriers. And you really look at the teams that go and win in postseason, you got aircraft carriers. And you can't have a ton of you can have complementary parts around the aircraft carriers, but you got to have the aircraft carriers. And they don't have enough of those guys in their lineup, and they don't have enough of those guys in their rotation.
What's fascinating is since Bonds left, they really never lured an aircraft carrier to their organization. Did they draft one? They had Buster Posey. Yes, that's an aircraft carrier. But while they were winning those 3 championships, not one of those players was someone that Giancarlo Stanton, who turned down a trade to San Francisco when they wanted to take all of that money. Instead, he went to the New York Yankees when he was leaving the Marlins an MVP season. Or they couldn't lure Aaron Judge, offered him more money reportedly than the New York Yankees. Couldn't land Carlos Correa, even though he was dealing with this.
Yeah, I think they have to. There's different ways to go about to do this. So, I don't think the winter is a complete failure for him because I don't expect Ohtani to go there. That's like the one guy everybody says they have to get. But honestly, Matt Chapman would be a good fit for them. Hoskins would be a good fit for them at first base. Cody Bellinger would be a good fit for them in center field. And then all of a sudden, the complementary pieces you have around all look better to me. And then what you have to hope for is some of those guys have aircraft carrier years, and your complementary pieces take another step because they don't feel the pressure anymore to actually be guys that they're not. So I do feel like from a position player standpoint, there's different avenues that they can go down. It's just they need to go down some of these avenues.
And it's got to be even more pressure. I got to believe there's pressure when there's one fix. And everyone in the industry knows that there's one person who will fill the void of a glaring hole in your roster. I'm talking about the New York Yankees. Look at, Dan, walk me through these numbers. Yankee left fielders had a very poor 2023 season. And it seems to me that there's one guy that fits the void perfectly.
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, Soto checks off everything the Yankees don't do well offensively. He actually does exceptionally well. But just look at this board. I mean, do you know how many incremental wins are there alone with him in left field? Now, if they were able to add him, add Bellinger in center field, bring back Yamamoto in their rotation, the Yankees, for me, become the prohibitive favorite in the American League to go to the World Series.
Wow. So, wow.
I mean, honestly, this Soto is he's an elite offensive player that controls the strike zone, gets his walks, has power, is a good hitter, barrels up tough pitching. And I think that when you add these kind of players, Greg, what it does, it takes the pressure off other players in the lineup. You now have 2 prolific aircraft carriers in Soto and Judge. I think it lifts the contributors to a whole nother level on their team. So I think this is a deal the Yankees really got to try to figure out to make. Now, I did a lineup here, and I had DJ leading off, but I did have Soto hitting second, Judge hitting third, Stanton hitting fourth. I had Bellinger in there then, and I slid everybody else down in their lineup.
It's got to be difficult, though, when everyone in the industry, including your trade partner, in this case, A.J. Preller and the Padres, when everyone knows he's clearly what you need. Juan Soto is clearly what the Yankees need, so you really don't have a lot of leverage in a trade negotiation like that.
But I also think the fits for Juan Soto are very, very small in the game right now. I don't think a lot of clubs are going to take on $32, $33 million on a one-year deal and give up a ton of prospects. So, though that is pressure from the Yankees standpoint, I think AJ's under pressure from his standpoint because I don't think there's a lot of seats here. Toronto maybe is a seat. Seattle maybe is a seat, but not sure they're going to play at that level and give up a ton of talent. I think the Yankees have better prospects maybe than the Blue Jays have to offer right now. So, I mean, this is a fascinating game of chicken. And, like, whoever blinks first is going to get the player because he's going to be moved.
There are multiple levels of stress and pressure at the winter meetings. When you have assets and you're, at the moment, a losing franchise, you have to cash in on those assets. It reminds me of Zach Greinke. After he won a Cy Young, he was about to be a free agent. The Royals had to trade him. They trade him to the Milwaukee Brewers. Would they get back? Their starting shortstop for the World Championship team, Alcides Escobar. Their starting center fielder for their World Championship team, Lorenzo Cain. If you're going to trade an asset, you got to cash it in. The Royals did that. The Chicago White Sox are the team that fits that bill, right?
Without a doubt. And I love the point you just made because they trade him for 2 position players. I think when you trade this kind of asset, the safest bet to get back are impact position players. The best fit for them to do that is the Baltimore Orioles. The type of talent and the players the Orioles have.
And you're talking Dylan Cease.
I am talking about Dylan Cease specifically. 2 years of control. They have to maximize his 2 years of control. I do think Luis Robert would have tremendous value. You got to get back even more than what you'd get back for Dylan Cease to move him. Jimenez and Benintendi, I don't think Benintendi's movable, and I don't know how much value Jimenez has. But, you know, Chris really needs to take advantage of the window of opportunity with the bat and Robert, because there's no bats in this marketplace.
And the contract
and
he
the
has.
Controlling factor of the 2 years that Cease has. He's a very attractive pitcher because of the 2 years of control.
Those 2 players alone could change the course of the future.
Lay the
franchise.
entire foundation for them for their next great team.
But then to watch Luis Robert be a perennial all-star year after year.
It might be, but,
tough.
you know, at some point in time, you have to be realistic about your window of opportunity to win. Every good GM knows where they are in the cycle as it relates to winning a world championship.